Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are back with another episode of the Challenge All Stars. So we are on episode 4 this week. And my opinion, it was an okay episode. Some people might disagree, but we're gonna hop right into our review and recap of the entire episode. And please be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. So let's get into it. So the episode starts, we're coming right back from the last episode, which was the Cyrus and MJ elimination, where Cyrus went home and MJ is back in the house and he has all of Cyrus's stars.
Yeah, I didn't need to. They say it's a day off, but it was like y'all doing the same thing y'all do every episode, so I don't really. But it was what it was. But
yeah, everybody's getting along at this point. Getting along.
MJ just worried about Brad coming back at him for the sabotage. And I don't know where this beef came from. So
I think it's it's not in the head, but he making it something. Now Brad gonna make it something too. I feel like I don't think it was anything at first. Brad mentions that him and MJ have a little thing happening because in the previous episode, MJ says to Brad when he was in the authority, when he was trying to get people to vote Cyrus in, he tells MJ tells him that his vote doesn't really matter because I guess he feels like he has enough people in authority to get his way, which he did. But you don't really say that, especially Brad, who ain't missed an authority yet. So, I mean, do what you want, MJ, but I mean, okay.
I mean, but I feel like, I don't know. I just feel MJ was valid in saying that. I mean, I said who I wanted.
Okay, I don't have to give you who you want. They've been doing it, which is annoying. They've been doing it. They've been playing that game, but I don't actually have to do it. And you talking a lot of stuff.
Like Brad wasn't gonna like either way it goes. Brad wasn't like
he had no friends. I think the reason why MJ probably felt the need to say that is because while Brad has won so many challenges up until this point and has been in the authority multiple times, MJ's always had the numbers. Oh, MJ now acts like he's got this diplomatic immunity.
Yes.
Like he's cool, like he in with the in crowd. And it's like, if we go thousands of challenges back to Duel 2, my guy, you was on the outside with Nehemiah.
I don't know. It's something that don't need to be said because it just makes your good position, which he is in a good position. It's just like, don't state the obvious. You got the cards. Don't tell nobody you got them. And for him to tell him, Brad probably wasn't even thinking about the fact that my vote doesn't count. But now you let me know you're right. But I feel like because MJ has thrown this thing at him,
he's throwing down the gauntlet. So
now, like, all
right, he's not gonna give him a break now.
Brad did.
Brad made the first move.
I get it. You can say Brad made the first move, but MJ can't make a move until he is on the board, and you in the authority this week with me. And
but he's on the board though. But he had to, like, because of the way Brad played, he had to make the authority, or he would have been in elimination.
He gonna go in every time.
Would have been an elimination. No. Yeah, well, I don't think he would have been elimination, but say that to him because I literally don't think, as like you said, if he don't have no choice, he would, yes, definitely throw MJ in because he don't have nobody else to go against. But I'm just saying that he won't even look for another option now because you told me we enemies basically.
I hear that.
So let's move on. So then we get a little like snippet of Kayla and Sylvia talking about strategy in the game, and Kayla is doing really good in this game. And I mean, Kayla has never been like my favorite player, but I like Kayla enough. And she is doing so good.
But I feel like Kayla was never bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's never bad. She's like, there's been other girls that I'm like, oh, that person might win or this person might win. And I've always seen her, I haven't like put her at my top 3 or whatever, but she's been so good this season. And her and Sylvia were talking and they mentioned about how they hope like they got to get the duos out, but like also hopefully nobody notices that they're a duo, which people notice.
Which is
but
painfully obvious. They've been a duo since they was on their first challenge together. It's so painfully obvious, but I think it's great that Kayla's doing great because the reason why she's doing so well is because Corey's light-skinned ass ain't there. So she ain't
I
got
think
nothing.
it's good that she don't have a like.
She ain't got no
romance in the
dudes
house.
to talk
Yeah.
to. There's nobody her age there.
Yes, I'm
She
glad for
can
that because
literally
that's
stay.
the downfall.
She has no choice but to stay focused on the money
Yeah.
because nobody, no dude is her age. That she, and plus she's in her own little relationship or whatever now. Good for her. That's fine.
She's married. What are y'all talking about?
Okay.
Quotation marks.
So,
I'm not the one to judge. Whatever happens in their relationship is okay.
yeah, well, yeah.
Based
Look,
off what Caleb, based
all
on what
I'm saying
Caleb
is,
presented over these last couple of years, I don't believe that relationship real. But that's just me.
It's a marriage.
Like I said.
Okay.
So you
she done some questionable things on these shows.
That was years ago. Okay, y'all crazy. So let's get into the challenge. All the challengers show up. Well, right before the challenge, we get a little snippet of Darrell talking to the guys, and he talks about his heights phobia and how he might need to go to therapy. So we know it's going to be heights, but we knew from the preview that it was going to be. But we knew again because he talks about how he's scared of heights, and obviously he's going to have trouble with this one. So we go to the challenge, and the name of the challenge is called High Stakes. And TJ, before he explains the challenge, he mentions how we have had 2 casualties of the game that have left. Jimmy left for personal family reasons, and who else up? Tina left because she broke her knuckle. And so somebody is riding in from the horizon. And we see that it is Beth. Beth is coming in to replace them.
They went and got Beth old ass. I cried tears. That Beth old ass roll up in this damn doom buggy. Ain't nobody happy. And it was, oh my goodness. Like they could have gotten anybody else.
Yeah, they could have
gotten anybody else. They went and got Beth. They don't give a fuck about this season no more. That's how I know they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck no more what happened.
Yeah, so no one besides maybe Kendall and Kellyanne, who are kind of like loners within the game, no one else is happy really to see Beth because she's like an uncertainty as far as her attitude within the social aspect of the game, and people have like issues with her. But Beth shows up and she's excited, and so let's get into the game. The game is High Stakes, which is basically they're out on they have a platform hanging off the side of going off the side of a building. Each player, they split themselves into 3 groups, right?
Yeah, it was
6 groups of 3.
Yes, yeah. 6 groups.
And they could pick their own. They assumed it would be something where it would be teammates where you would be able to work together. However, it ended up being you ended up going against the people that you ended up picking. So a lot of friends went against friends in this case.
Yeah. So
I was just about to say I hated this challenge.
Let me explain the challenge, then we
yeah, I agree with you, Ray.
There was 6 groups, like you said, there's 6 groups of 3. Each person had their own platform, so it's played in 6 heats, and they had to go out on the platform and solve a math problem. Whoever solves it first is the winner of that heat and is automatically in the authority. And the other 2 are dropped off the side of the building, and the person who won gets to decide the order with which they are dropped. And whoever falls first will be sent straight into elimination, but that ends up not mattering. So what are your thoughts on the elimination? Go ahead.
I think it was just like there was like one, I didn't like the setup. I didn't like them go like if you're gonna do like a math equation, it just needed to be more, I don't know, it just needed more. And then for them to like choose the drops and then that's how you choose the it was just
I think they was just banking on somebody to get DQ'd. I think they knew somebody wasn't gonna do it because and for me with the DQs, it's like they've done much worse challenges over buildings, over water.
That part.
This one was not that bad. So
that's why I'm disappointed in
Yeah.
So the producers probably knew that somebody would be too afraid to do it.
Yeah.
And so because when you think about it, the order of which you drop somebody only depends on how fast you solve the math equation.
Yeah.
So you could solve the math equation in 20 seconds and then have to pick one of your friends that you done went up there with to send them into elimination. Now you done screwed everybody.
Yeah.
So
I thought, like you guys said, I didn't think this elimination was that great, but this whole episode, as far as the challenges and not elimination, sorry, this whole episode, as far as the challenge and the elimination, I didn't think was awesome.
Oh, it was terrible. The two worst ones ever.
Yeah, you said two worst ones ever.
Two of the this is probably one of the weakest daily challenges I think I've seen in challenge history. Like, this is almost like goddamn Inferno 1 type level of challenge. Like, this is like pre big budget from MTV type. Like, this is it's crazy how bad it really was. And then it's also crazy of, like, they incorporated the math equation from the final, and it's almost like, can we do something else besides math equations?
Just go into that. So throughout the heats, each person is going, and when it comes time for Darrell's heat, for him to go, Darrell is having like a panic attack. He can't walk out onto the plank, and TJ is trying to get him to go. Like, go, you've done it before. You're a vet. You've done it several times.
Exactly.
And he decides he cannot do it, and it's a no for him. He did mention earlier in the episode he feels like his phobia of heights is getting worse as he gets older. So that might be why. Yeah, he did it when he was younger for the money.
He did it 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, you're right. He did it recently for the money.
He just did it on Double Agents.
Yeah, so he says he feels like his fear is getting worse, or whatever.
It's like,
but he did the one on Double Agents without a harness. He was literally hanging over a bar over water.
But I guess he feel like that's over water. Water is different.
But you're harnessed up over a building.
And then there's no guarantee you're going to even.
I would take the harness. Exactly. I would take the harness over hanging over the water, because at least
you hit that water hard.
First of all, it's cold. Second of all, it's water. Third of all, it hurts when you landing on water from a high distance does not feel good. It hurts. At least when you drop it's like going down a roller coaster. It's just like straight down. It's fast, but I mean, I don't know. At this point, it's like a mental thing. But as soon as Darrell started talking about this damn heights thing, it's like, dude, you've been talking about this every episode.
So I think even though it didn't end up being a huge problem, I do feel like it should have been more fair as far as heights is concerned, because when they do weight challenges, they put, like, let's say they do it according to weight. I don't know how to describe what I'm saying. Like, this person, when they say hold your own body weight or something like that, it's heavier. It's not just everybody's holding 30 pounds, because obviously Big Easy could hold more than Veronica. You know what I mean? So so when they did this, I was like, why would Veronica's pedestal be the same height as this? Like, everybody else?
It was very unfair.
Yeah.
Until she won, and I was like, oh.
No, she won.
It didn't matter. Okay. I was like, but if she didn't win, it would be like,
I thought she was going to fall before
she. That's crazy.
I thought because she was tiptoeing on the edge. I'm like, this girl about to fall. So I was like, they need to raise it according to your height, because otherwise, what if I just can't reach it?
I thought at first, I thought that, like, I don't know, maybe it was the way that the camera angle was, but it looked like her bar was lowered a little bit for her specifically.
I don't know.
Then when they zoomed back out and then you saw all three women just standing there, I'm like, oh no, her bar wasn't lowered at all. She just on her tippy toes. I'm like, damn, that's
so I feel like they should did something
far as reach.
Yeah, but so then when I'm gonna mention the women, the Beth goes, and Beth has just gotten there. She's been there only for a few minutes, and she is also now having a panic attack. in regards to the heights challenge. She feels like she is not up to jumping straight into these heights right now. And she also forfeits and she is disqualified, and she is also going straight into elimination. And it is kind of disappointing because they just brought her in as this alternate and she does not like show up for this first challenge. I do think that they need to input some type of penalty on people who quit, like for whatever reason, unless it's like medical. I think if you quit and you going straight to elimination, you like, oh, it's fine, I could beat that elimination. I think you should have to have a penalty in elimination. You got to wear 30-pound weights or something. You can't just do terrible and not do anything on this elimination. Somebody who did fine or whatever on the challenge, and then you beat them. I just like.
I think that's a good idea, but however I think people would probably do that to their own detriment, because knowing these players, because we done found people who done figured out ways to break the game multiple times. So if you get a penalty by just disqualifying yourself into an elimination, if you know you could probably beat that person, why not just be that person? But all right, I'm gonna just throw this challenge. I'm gonna go into.
That's what I'm saying.
Get the penalty. Like, get somebody weak against me, and now I've already done my go round in elimination. So now when the cycle go back around, y'all ain't voting me in because I've already done my job. So vote for somebody else. Like, people will find a way to get in and out of, and around all of these type of stipulations. So I think just the one penalty is just, hey, you automatically go in, you show that you can do better, come back, and hopefully you do better the next challenge.
The authority are Brad, MJ, Kayla, Janae, Mark, and Veronica. With this, like I said, Brad has been in this authority back to back.
Brad has been in 3. Brad has been in the last 3. Kayla's been in the last 3.
Great, Kayla.
Janae's been in the last 3. And Veronica this makes her second one.
Yeah. And
second one.
Yeah. And so after the challenge, after they're heading back to the house, MJ mentions that he don't care what Brad's suggestion is. He will go against it. He doesn't even care what it is. He's going to say, nope, I want the opposite of whatever you want. And I'm just like, oh, MJ, you don't want me to like you this season. Naya mentions, we need to round up these girls because the treehouse is like picking us off one by one. And I was like, go talk to somebody, Naya. Time to go make some conversation.
They don't really have the numbers though.
But I feel like if you pick up a couple people, I think they can have a number, because the treehouse has 6 girls.
No, right? Really only 3. They got 3. They got Kayla, they got Sylvia, they got Veronica, and then they got Derek. So they only got
Ronnie.
4.
And Ronnie.
She don't count. Y'all know she don't count.
She's just there. She's just there.
I mean, she counts as a vote for them.
But she's still a number. But on the other side, you got Kellyanne, Kendall, Naya, Beth. That's it.
And Janae.
Janae is in the middle. She don't.
Janae is in the middle.
So Janae and Ronnie are
Ronnie's in the treehouse. Janae's in the middle.
She's in the treehouse, but she's lower than total pole. Like,
yeah, but Ronnie's in there by default.
They count
because
her.
She's in there because she's in the room with them.
Yeah, they count her, and they're not gonna say her name unless the other.
They haven't Ronnie ain't came up once.
Yes, Ronnie ain't never met these
came
people.
up in a single episode.
Because they got bigger fish to fry right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Ronnie counts because if she is helping them in them tag team battles, she helping them pull Kendall off of them. So Ronnie counts.
And she's a vote. And I mean, realistically, at this game, we all know you got the numbers. You control everything.
Yeah. They go in the authority, and Kendall really was the only vote for the women. They didn't even discuss. I don't remember them discussing anybody else. And then for the guys, there's only 2 names on the table, and it's Wes and Jordan, and they have to decide between those 2. And they make the case that they don't want to see Jordan in the final. Well, Darrell tells them when they go out that night, he doesn't really have a preference, but he knows he don't want to see Jordan in a final. Yeah. But I mean, if you don't want to see him in the final, I don't know why you want to see him in an elimination. I don't understand.
Because I feel like
Logically,
the thing with elimination is they always say you never know what happens in elimination.
because had it
So I
been
feel like he
pole
has more of a
wrestle,
chance.
Jordan would have been fucked. Because it'd have been pole wrestle, Jordan.
I don't think they would have gave him that on All Stars. I don't think they would have.
Yeah,
I think they would be more
because
conscious
you
of
saw
what
what
they give
happened.
Jordan now. After that whole Fessy situation,
they're never gonna give him pole wrestle ever again.
Like pole wrestle.
But also, this was unfair too. But we'll get to that. But first, the authority decides that the people that they're sending in are Kendall and Jordan. They go tell them Kendall is upset, like they keep throwing me in, whatever. But
because she feels what I feel. Why the fuck are you apologizing to me? You don't care.
Don't apologize.
Don't do that. I hate when they apologize for throwing. Like, stop apologizing for playing the game.
Jordan and their flirt man and sexual tension comes to like a head, and they have sex.
It's like if you've never seen this show, and you see Jordan and Nia, and you see this sexual chemistry that they had, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Then go back and watch their Real World season. It's like 180. And then it gets worse because then you go look at how Nia got kicked off the show in Battle of the Exes too.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is a weird relationship they got.
It's always been weird. It's always been toxic, and now they just
embracing it at this point. It's just like, it's just weird. I mean, I'm happy for them.
I don't think it's weird.
It's weird. It's weird. Like she called that man a homophobic slur. Like, you can't do that. like she literally cussed this man out so bad they kicked her off the show before a final. You know how
they have made up.
Do you know how bad you got to cuss somebody out to get kicked off the show before a final?
I didn't think
she sexually assaulted him.
Yeah, I thought she
because she touched his private area. She was making a point. She wasn't doing nothing that black people don't do. When black people are making a roast, they roasting your ass. We're gonna point out exactly what we roasting. If you got a big forehead, I'm putting my hand on your forehead. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but they're like, I'm here for the toxicity. I'm here for the toxicity.
No,
it's definitely toxic.
It's not toxic anymore, but it was.
Yeah,
not anymore.
It was very toxic. When they was living together in Portland, it was toxic.
Yeah, I agree. But now, older now, I don't think
because they're adults.
Huh?
Because they're adults now, so it's like,
yeah.
But let's go into the elimination.
That was the elimination was bullshit too.
Oh, the worst elimination I've ever seen. Again, okay, so what is this elimination called? I didn't write down the name of the elimination.
It's called Steamroller.
That's what it's called.
Okay, he said Steamroller. Okay, so the name of elimination is Steamroller. So the way it's played, men elimination and the women's elimination, and they have a cylinder tube, I don't know, and each player is on each side of the tube, and they have to roll it to try to push the roller to their side. Whoever crosses the threshold first and touches their goal first wins. It's very simple. It was very boring. Very boring. It wasn't much to it. It wasn't intricate. It was nothing like. I think them doing it probably seemed more exciting than us watching it. It wasn't an elimination that's for the audience. The audience of elimination like this is like, okay,
I'm pretty sure they was boring. Definitely for
sucked.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. It was totally unfair. I mean, everything can't be fair, but I mean, not, some stuff just happened, and that's how the cookie crumbles, which this is one of them. Kendall, literally, Kendall never get a good shake, but half of it is her fault because she don't really play hard. But in this elimination, it was really not much she can do, as we saw even with Jordan. It's not too much you can do when somebody outweighs you in this elimination. Beth didn't have any technique, but all she had to do was like go backwards, and she was able to move it.
Beth, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, Kendall going home. It's a wrap. Because you're not as much as I wanted Beth to go home, I knew for a simple fact that it's over.
Kendall could have won, I think, if she was able to see Beth, which I think is why they put that partition there so they can't see. Because if she could see Beth and see the parts where Beth was resting, then she would have known, okay, push,
Yeah.
but she couldn't see
And
what
plus
Beth was doing.
she was close. She was closer to her end, and then that's when Beth finally decided to like throw her body weight.
Yeah, then
which
she really
changed it.
Yeah.
So she kept that momentum going. I think she didn't gas out necessarily, but I think she just didn't have like
Kendall didn't gas out. It's just like Beth just used her body weight. Kendall didn't gas. I mean, Kendall, like, you can't gas out when you're still pushing towards the end.
Yeah.
It was,
and that arena was too small. They only had to go like 2 feet. I was like, can we get can this be like a
to be honest, that didn't even look easy. It didn't look easy.
It didn't look easy, but it was too short. Because once Beth got it, it wasn't much.
I thought they was going to do it in heats. I didn't know I thought it was going to be the best of 3.
Yeah, it should have been.
I think that would have been good. I think that would have been more fair to do it in the best of 3, because if I know for a fact that I was beaten round 1, I know what I did wrong. So I'm gonna do the opposite in round 2. And if that works, I'm gonna do the same in round 3, and hopefully I win.
Yeah, I think that would have been a way to balance it out. Yeah, I would have liked that. But yeah, so the first heat with the women, Kendall is eliminated and Beth wins that. And it was like you said, I thought it was gonna be another one. I was waiting for them to say, okay, round 2. And then they was like, okay, Beth is a winner. I was like, oh, that was boring. Okay. So Beth wins. Kendall is upset, as she should be, because like, how? Like, what? Beth
they voted her ass in there, and then
go straight to the top.
This one got me. Veronica had the nerves to say Beth wasn't supposed to come back. That's why
I didn't know what she was talking about. I thought she wanted y'all wanted Kendall to leave.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was
that like. Logic didn't make any sense at all.
The men's heat goes for elimination, Darrell versus Jordan, and it's a very similar thing to Beth and Kendall. Darrell has the weight on Jordan. Darrell is heavier than Jordan, and when Mark makes his odds, he says he expects for Darrell to win it. But you know, Jordan is Jordan, and he gonna find a way. Okay, so Jordan, he tries every which way to make that tube move to his side, but again, Darrell is heavier, so it is moving, inching closer to Darrell's side. He's literally almost there, probably like a foot away from hitting his platform. Because they are there so long. I don't know if Darrell pulled the hamstring. I don't know what happened.
His quads gave out.
Okay, his quads. Okay, his quads gave out, and then just randomly we just see Darrell start crawling out of the tube, and I was like, "What is happening?" Like,
exactly. I literally screamed. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
He legitimately. Like, when the doctors came in to touch his quads, like touch his thighs, and he yelled out, "Don't touch him," I knew the pain he was in.
Beth and Jordan as our winners. They both have stars now. Beth got a star. She just showed up. But I do believe they will be sending Beth back into the arena very soon, because they're just going to use her as a scapegoat the same way they use Kendall as a scapegoat, but in a positive thing for Kellyanne is that it might help her to be a little bit more overlooked because of their unreasonable hatred for Beth. So, you know, but so we'll see what happens next week. And that is the end of this episode.
So let's get into our fantasy draft. So still in 3rd place, we have Gigi, you know, with your remaining 5 players, 5. So for this episode,
you already added points?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for this episode, Naya was your big hitter because she had sex with Jordan and they had nudity, so you got 45 off that. And she had a couple of confessionals this season, this episode. Your weakest player, I think, still is Ronnie.
Yeah, I think Ronnie had 1 confessional.
Yes was your weakest. He only had 2 confessionals. Ronnie had 3, so she gave you some type of points. But yeah. So Naya was your big hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And 2nd place, Savon with 488. You lost Kendall.
Everybody else is staying to the end, so I'm fine.
Wait, go back to you. Let me see, who was your players again? I don't know. Derek might be. I don't know.
Derek's not gonna make the final. Derek's not making the final, but I know MJ and Wes will, and I know Kayla and Sylvia will.
I'm rooting against.
So I feel like one of them.
And if Sylvia doesn't make, Kayla or Sylvia is gonna make the final. That
yeah,
I do know.
I think so.
So
probably Kayla.
3 of those 5 left are gonna be in the final. I don't know who. It's probably not D. I wish it is because he deserves the world.
It's just, I don't understand that. That's so crazy. I used to bet all my money on Derek.
No, Derek's an idiot. He doesn't do well with puzzles. He's dumb. He's just muscles.
Okay, so what's yours, Rasan?
Well, Kayla was your big hitter this episode, and so was Sylvia. She had a mental breakdown, quote unquote, with she did.
Are you talking about okay.
That was technically a breakdown.
Okay.
That is a breakdown.
So that's
how you would agree.
That's a breakdown.
Okay.
All right. And then for me, I am in the lead with 603 points. I lost to Darrell, unfortunately, but I gained Beth. And the fact that she don't even got it's so tacky. The fact she don't even got
first.
They could have gave her a picture at least, but
the alternates must not have taken pictures, cast photos.
Out of my team, I think Jordan, Kellyanne, and Brad are hopefully for sure in the finals. Nehemiah and Beth, I'm definitely not confident in Beth now.
Not you losing faith in Nehemiah. You were screaming for Nehemiah winning at the beginning of this. Not you're down. You can't lose faith in your players.
Well, I never have much faith in Nehemiah.
Now he ain't never had much.
Nobody has faith in Nehemiah. He sucks.
No, Jordan. Darrell was my go-to. Darrell was my banking that Jordan wasn't going to win.
That's crazy.
But Jordan still going to win.
That's crazy. Nehemiah wasn't even part of the racial quota. It was Darrell. That's crazy.
My big hitter was Jordan and Brad. I think Brad is always gonna give me my
Brad. I remember that Brad.
And then Darrell was just sorry this episode, but he had hella confessional, so but yeah, it wasn't given what it was supposed to give.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is the end of our recap and review for episode 4. We will be back next week with episode 5. Please stay tuned, tune in. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And thanks for watching. See you later. Peace.